Hello and welcome to the WWIII channel with myself, Alan from the channel, in our continuing playthrough of the 2020 scenario from GMT's Mr. President, designed by Gene Billingsley and developer is Mike Berticelli, who was actually in the chat last night for the first video. Hopefully he'll come back. It's great to have somebody official in the chat, if we can get away with it. So it'd be nice to see him again. Hi Paul, good to see you again. Thanks for coming again. Just going to put out a couple of messages I haven't put out yet to get some reinforcements in to view. So give me a couple of secs to do that. And of course, if you can let me know that you can see and hear me, that would be great. So just coming through the messages here, just give me a little moment. Should be. Okay, that's one, and just almost there. Come on, come on. And there we go. Right. Sorry about the little delay there. And right. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Yep. You can see and hear me. That's wonderful. Right. So we were at an interesting point in the game turn. There's only one game turn in this scenario. We are at the two domestic actions and legislative segment here. How things are going at the moment. Domestically pretty good. We need to have good public approval, good prestige and good media relations, and we've improved all those. Unfortunately, the rest of the board has not gone very well. Major thing really is the fact that we are one pip away from Russia and NATO going to war, which ends the game and I lose. So that's a big thing here. Other things, Eurozone's not doing very well. We've got a lot of Russian and Chinese influence. Eastern Europe is terrible. We have a Russian base there, and also the stability has hit rock bottom, the regional stability, so it's all over the place. And then to top it all off, I think we also ended up with a level 1 rogue state in Central America and a level 1 rogue state in South America. So lots of enemies around here. The Chinese haven't actually had their turn yet. Yeah, it's not great, really. It's really not great. Good. Anyway, so we did the -1 for the media relations. That's the natural decrease here. So we're on to our two domestic actions. And actually, I'd say that the foreign actions is actually what we really need to do, but 2 domestic actions is what we're allowed to do right now. So let's, sounds like a normal world. Yeah, you could say that, Right, so what are we going to do with our 2 domestic actions? Well, firstly, we're going to get our Chief of Staff to do these, because he's good at them, and possibly the President to do something as well. I don't think we can do very much about the NATO-Russia side with domestic actions, unfortunately. Yeah, no, not really. Nothing like that at all. We can hit our our domestic crises here, which we've been trying to do and failing pretty badly throughout the all of the last video. We can continue with that. We could do our presidential presence again, so we could try and get even better with the media relations and the public approval. I think we'll do one of those, which is the presidential presence here, and then we shall do the domestic action. We will address the domestic crisis, because we want to deal with the domestic crisis. We have one here. Once that's at 0, we can then try and do something about the lingering domestic crisis, which is actually a legislation priority for both the public and for us. So let's start with possibly the good news, which is the presidential presence role. So costs an action, and we can spend an action point to give us a -1 on the dice. We will do that. So down to 11. We are an orator. It's our special ability here. So we have -2 on the dice, and we're up against our prestige, which is 6. So D10 -2. We roll a 10, which is a failure. It's a failure, but it's not a 10 because we've got -2 on the dice. So therefore it doesn't do anything. Well, there we go. I spent an action point for no good reason. Right, over onto the address a domestic crisis. We will get the Chief of Staff to work on that because he's got a modifier. So cabinet effectiveness check, we have a 4. We have a -1 because of the skill of the Chief of Staff, but the lingering crisis is on 2, so that's a +2. So we have a +1, and we're looking for a 4 or less. So we failed this every time. Let's see if we can manage to do this now. We can't actually spend any action points on this either. A 5, failed again. So 2 domestic actions are absolutely nothing. Right, so next we are on to the legislative segment. Okay, so first we deal with any pending bills. There are no pending bills, nothing there. And to be honest, seeing as we have 0 bipartisan cooperation, nothing much is likely to go on here, to be honest. We can't pass any pending bills. We can't do anything like that. We can't sign or veto bills because nothing's passed. We will skip all the way down. This is the sequence for the Legislative Assembly. We're missing all of this. Support opposition for pending bills, attempt to pass pending bills, sign or veto bills, add legislative friends or opponents. We didn't do anything, so we can't. So we're down to just this last line here, which is known as how the sausage is made. We roll a d6, and we refer to the Congressional Manoeuvring and Drama Table, d6. So that's in the domestic booklet. Dig it out. That's the world one. Domestic. Here we go. So d6. It's nice they've got the actual name of the number of the chart in the corner. So d6 here. let's have a look at the DRMs here. So -1 if corporation is the rightmost box, it's not. +1 if it's in either of the two. Two on the left, it is. So it's +1. The relations with Congress is terrible. That's a 2. So if it's 3 or less, that's a +2. So we're on +3 at the moment. Our public approval is in the middle of those two. Our friends do not outnumber opponents, and opponents do not. And is this the second roll of the step? So we have to roll this twice because that corporation is stuck on 0. So we've got a +3, was that? Yes. +3 on a d6. It's not going to be good, I don't think. A 6, that's going to be terrible. So a 6 +3, we get to an 8 or more. Great. Corruption. Lovely. Go to the scandal track on the map and roll on the random scandal determination to find a target of the investigation. Well, we already have a presidential scandal here. That it gave us at the start. So let's roll here to see which one it is. A 3. That's the Secretary of Defense. So he has a breaking scandal. Lovely. And -1 party relations. Great. And -1 relations with Congress. They're at rock bottom anyway. -3 public approval. 1, 2, 3. So we've just lost a VP there. Great. And that's it. Okay. So, but we have to roll this again. And we get an extra +2. So that will be now a +5. Oh, brilliant. We've got another corruption. Okay. So that will be... Well, let's see who it is. So we roll a dice on this chart here. A 1, it's the Chief of Staff. So the Chief of Staff has a scandal as well. So there's scandal all over the place just before an election. Wonderful. So that's another -1 party relations. That's another -3 public approval. That's another VP gone. And yeah, relations with Congress is still in the toilet anyway. Wow. So that bit was great, wasn't it? That bit was really wonderful. Okay, how the sausage is made, it's not being made at all. Introduce new bills. We can't add a new bill because there's no corporation. Okay, we determine a media result. Compare the media ratings of all friends and opponents. These are the friends and these are the opponents. We have a media 2 and a media 2 versus a media 2 and a nothing. So we have a +2. Move the public approval a number of boxes, a maximum of 3. So we get public approval up to, because of our friends are more media friendly. Then we go to scandal investigations. So we've got 3 scandals to deal with here. Roll a d6 for each scandal on the scandal tracks, starting with the concluding. So we go in reverse. So the president goes first. We go to the scandal table. And scandal table. I've never used the scandal table. I can't even say it. Right. Okay. Scandal table. It's a d6, but it's a very big, long. Wow, look at this. It's over 2 pages, the table. We've got some DRMs, which I don't think are going to be very good. +1 for the bipartisan corporation. +1 because the relations with Congress are in the toilet. our public approval is now 36. So between 30 and 40, we get another +1 for public approval because they don't like us that much anymore. So that's +3. Friends outnumber opponents, no. No, opponents outnumber friends, no. Party relations is 7 or higher, no, it's now 6, so that doesn't help either. So +3 on a d6. Table only goes up to 7. 4, yeah, it gets to a 7. Lovely, so we got the worst result. New evidence suggests deeper President of the US involvement. -1 action point. So we go down to 10. -2 public approval. Wow, this is going so well. -1 relations with Congress. It can't go any worse. If the president is already on the scandal track, move it right 1 box. If not already, place it in the breaking scandal. Blah blah blah. Okay, hang on. Oh no, it's not a breaking scandal. Sorry. So let's have that back. I was on the wrong column. So it was -2. So I should be over here. So target indicted, impeached. If the target is the president, -5 public approval. Good grief. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -3 legacy points. We don't worry about legacy points in the scenarios. -2 relations with Congress. It can't get any worse. -1 media relations. Make an impeachment dice roll and refer to the impeachment table. The impeachment table is at the bottom here. So d6 again. And this has got DRMs as well. If both houses are controlled by your party or your party relations are 5 or greater, your party relations are 5 or greater, so that's good. So they're going to stick by me. It's a -2 on the dice. Public approval is not 60 or higher. I do not have Teflon. No, I do not have Teflon attribute. Both houses controlled by opponents, they're not. Public approval is 30 or lower. Yes, it's now 26. So that's a +1. So we're on a -1 table. If you have the lack social graces as presidential attribute, I don't. So it's a -1 on this set. And so we've got 1 to 3. I'm acquitted. Or 4 to 6. I lose. So here we go. Forget Russia or NATO. It's on this dice roll, and I have a -1 on the dice. So a 5 or a 6, the game's over. That was really, yeah. That could be really brief. And look at that. 6. 6 -1, 5. I have been convicted in the Senate. I have been impeached. And I thought this was going to be a long game, and it's not. Well, there you go. Mark, hello. I've just lost the game. I don't think I did anything wrong. I just didn't roll very well. Lots of 6s on scandal tables and impeachment tables. So, so how long have we been going so far here? Gosh, about 20 minutes. Eric, hello. I think you popped in later on yesterday looking at this, and you've kind of done it again because I've lost the game. My president, or me as the president, has just been impeached, and yeah, not much more to say, is there? Well, I think there is quite a lot of possibility in this game for things to spiral out of control, and it just has happened there. Really, we've actually haven't even moved on the turn sequence. We are still on domestic actions and a legislative segment. Our 2 domestic actions failed, and our legislation segment we got we had to roll twice on the how the sausage is made table. Got the worst result twice, then we got to a scandal, and then we rolled again worst twice. What's really killed us, I suppose, is the relations with Congress here being as terrible as it is, those negative dice roll modifiers, I think. Also with this, with no cooperation here. So I suppose the problem is that the government stopped working because everybody was working on the scandal, and Congress impeached me. Wow, okay. Well, what else should we talk about? Anyway, as I think, Mike, I think I've done it right. I don't think I've done anything wrong. It's just been, yes, a terrible sequence, roll sequence. So, gosh, okay. Didn't quite think that the game was going to complete that way. I haven't even got through the first activation phase. I've only gone through just over half of it. Wow, it's probably some kind of record, I think, eh? Probably some kind of record. Wow. Never mind. Well, seems like I'm probably, as the president, in jail now, or going to be very shortly, for whatever I've done. It doesn't specify. It's something that we started with, and I suppose I hadn't done scandals before, so I think if you've got a scandal there, you've got to try and get Congress on your side, and I wasn't doing that. I was trying to just improve my media relations and my public approval, rather than trying to deal with what was going on in Congress, and that kind of gave me the positive dice roll modifiers. Actually, positive is bad, and yeah, screwed me over. So yeah, so this is a thing. The game is a balance of things. Pure victory points. You want to get re-elected, and so you want to have public approval and media relations high, which is what I was going for. But there are other things in the game which is going to go and bite you on the backside. And the Russia NATO, that Serbian card, was one of them, which put us onto the brink of World War III. And also what the Russians ended up doing as well was a real problem, because they're getting very close to winning their influence victory conditions as well. So I was on the brink in two places, and what I didn't realise, I was on the brink in a third place, which is what I should have dealt with earlier on, and I didn't. I just went for the win, hoping that everything else would kind of take care of itself, and well, it didn't. So it's possible that I was going to lose 3 different ways here, and it is just the one I didn't see. And yeah, I kind of blame that. I haven't actually been, when I've played the game, I haven't played it too much, but I have played the game a couple of times, and I've never had to worry about a scandal. But we ended up with 3 of them, can you believe it? Use different dice, yes, I suppose. It did take care of itself, yes, indeed. Yeah, wow. It's all set up, run it again. Yeah, maybe I should do that, actually. Although it does take a little manipulation to get it all back I might do that, actually, if the chat is interested and wants to stick around. I will need to reset a few things here, so I have to go through the setup again. But if you want to talk amongst yourselves, then please go ahead. It's going to be a little boring for the next few minutes while I reset everything. But yeah, let's try it again, shall we? Absolutely. So, starting off here, let me get my scenario setup booklet. Yet another booklet. And the 2020 scenario. So, what do we have? Right, so our turn marker starts here again. We have the crisis chits back in the cup. Russia hasn't acted. These guys need to be randomized. here, and so a normal difficulty, 2 presidential attributes. So these are my attributes there, and I should have a little, yeah, that's my attributes cup. So we pick 2 of these. It's the American spirit. Well, it's definitely the British spirit anyway. Stiff upper lip. Yes. Keep calm and carry on. So my 2 new ones are efficient. Gives me +4 APs per turn. And likable. I had likable before. +3 public opinion per turn. Not sure that helps because we start halfway, actually inside a turn. So I don't think that really helps us, but it does give us some DRMs anyway. So that is those. We have, what next do we have? 15 APs, but presumably I get +4, so I should have 19 APs. Cabinet effectiveness 4, yeah. Yeah, we know all about that. Split party control, yes. And scandal marker stays. Still got that scandal marker I'm going to have to deal with. Right, White House. So I get my cabinet back. So where's my cabinet? Counters. That's priorities. There they are. So here they are. So I'm going to mix those. Well, I'm not looking at them. Definitely not looking at them. So our vice president, we don't get a choice. We get, oh, he's not bad. Rick Campbell. He's +1 action and +1 domestic and +1 defense. So that's good. Then for the others, we get a choice of 3. So for the chief of staff, we'll have these 3. So Bill Hanson, who's the defense guy. Alan Box, which is +1 action, but he's no good domestic. Oh, this guy's a bit stellar. He's good at everything and +1 action. So Andy Lewis, you're the chief of staff. Put those back, and then choice of 3 for the Secretary of State. These, oh, that's 2. And the 3rd. Right, Ralph Sanchez is defence, no thanks. Henry Haynes not bad. Alan Box is not bad. He gets a +1 action. Good. Yeah, now a couple of these are going to be experience. They'll flip over, but you shouldn't really look at the other side. So I've got to go. I'll go with this guy. Alan Box. Put these 2 back. Yes, reading the just reading the chat here, Mike. So Wolfpack is on port schedule. Okay, it should be in port on the 11th. Ah, okay. So heading back from a sortie, eh? That's 1, 2. Oops, missed another one. 3. So we've got John Long, who's a +1 action and defence. Kim Richards is no good, no defence there. Ivan Mercer is, so the best guy is John Long, so we'll have John Long there, thank you. Okay, yeah, so that's good, done all right. And it's once your Vice President and Secretary of State are selected, flip over to the veteran side. So Vice President gets better, not really, and the Secretary of State gets better. Oh, he actually gets worse. He loses his +1 action. Oh well, can't have everything, can you? Okay, and the exceptional White House cards. So these were my 2 last time. Although, let me just find the other cards, because I put them away. So, yep, that's all of them. Here we go, shuffle them out. And we get both of them, it seems. So we will get that one and that one. That away. So what do we have? We have the talented and beloved First Lady again. And we have an awesome Chief of Staff. I know we have an awesome Chief of Staff. He is awesome. So, start of each turn +2 public approval and +1 to other media relations or party relations, your choice. Well, we don't start the turn, so I'm presuming that doesn't really count. Right. Brilliance, efficiency and influence. Each turn, place a cabinet effectiveness improving counter on your cabinet effectiveness track and receive 2 additional APs at the start of each turn. Again, we're not starting at the start, so presumably I don't get that. I can re-roll a dice roll that's a check against one of the game tracks or a roll on the cabinet improvement or cabinet drama tables. Okay, well, that might be useful. You might be able to clue me in on that, Mike. I'm presuming that the start of turn stuff on these cards I don't get because we don't start right at the beginning of the 4th turn. I'm not sure if that yes. You said yes before I finished talking, so I don't know if that's a yes from somebody else or yes from what I was talking about. So yeah, if you could re-verify that. But it seems like that's what that's what should be happening now. Okay, so back to the setup. So we've done that. Party relations to 7, and that's it. Right, public approval 44. Prestige at 6. State of the economy 7 and improving. World opinion is 3. Relations, Homeland Security is 6. Yes. Relations with Congress is 3. Big problem that. Media relations 3. Domestic crisis 1. Lingering 2. Okay. Congress, split parties control, yes. Public priority is the lingering domestic issue. 4 randomly drawn ones, so get these away. I'm not sure this is going to be that important, to be honest, but we'll redo these. So we have Homeland Security. Expanding NASA funding. Okay. Immigration reform. And expanded military. So a bit different from last time, which was lots about tax and welfare reform. Okay. So on ours, I'm going to keep it lingering domestic issues number 1. I'll change those, of course. Let's go with 2 and 3 here. So Homeland and NASA. Homeland and NASA. NASA I found. Homeland Security. Okay, those are done. Right, where else have we got? No campaign promise. 2 friends and opponents. Okay, we'll do that. So opponents are here and friends are here. So 2 opponents. Not looking, not looking, not looking. So we'll have them and them. So radical and moderate. Do we have another sort? No, it's just a moderate. Okay. Although they're pretty good actually, a 3 and a 2. They're both media possibles. Okay, so it's nice to have a moderate over on an opponent. On R2, not looking, we'll have that one and that one. So it's a radical and a Great, 2 radicals, although they are pretty good. Good radicals, but that means that, yeah, we got a majority of radicals there, I'm afraid. We start on 0 anyway on the corporation. So continent, yeah, we have to just check here. Continental US, we have 2 Army Heavies, 2 Marine Corps, and an Army Light, yes. And the assets box is here. 1 Marine, 1 Light, 1 Heavy, 2 Air Force, and 2 carriers. Okay, got that. Right. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, conflict track. So India and China start on 2. Yes. Everything else is at start except Russia, Ukraine is +2 Russia, that's right. I don't think anything of these moved other than the Russian NATO one, so I'll just have a quick look. 333. Yeah, that's correct. That's cool. Okay. Strategic capabilities. 211. 211. 321. Yes. All on 1. Space warfare. 122. Yes. 212. Yes. 301. Yes, they're all right. Russian economy is 4. I'll keep the sanctions there because we didn't use them yet. Posture 2, economy 4. That goes. Tensions 3. So I'll just take 2 of those away. Don't know what they are, so they can stick there. Anti-US 2. Go. China is economy 5. Posture 1, tensions 1. So remove one of the tensions. Posture 1. And just on box 2. Okay, nuclear missile tracks both on 2. Iran went up 1, so that goes back. Okay, Eurozone. Regional alignment 5. Stability 5. Regional crisis 1. State of economy 5. That goes off. China influence 2. Russia influence 1. NATO close, UK very close. Close, very close. Both have 2 tensions, and they both have 2 tensions. That's good. Unstable state 1, yes. 2 level 1 terror groups, yes. Air Force, Marines, Light, Advisor and Spec Ops, yes. I think that's Eurozone is done, yes, right. Getting there. Sorry it's taking a little while, just want to make sure I've got everything working. Right, Eastern Europe. Pro-US regional alignment, so that should be there. Stability is 4. Regional crisis 2. China influence 1. Russia influence 1. Stable state 1. So all ceasefire 1. Lose one of those terror groups. US Army Light, yes. Focus national intelligence, okay. Middle East. Right. Regional alignment 6, yes. Stability 5. Crises 2. Influence 1 and 1. Israel close with 2 tensions. I'll put one of those back. And Iran influence. Iran, 2 tensions, and so we need another tensions there. And we also need a unilateral sanctions as well. Okay. Unstable state with Iranian influence, yes. Civil war, Iranian influence, yes. 2 level 2s, terrors, yes. Air Force Special Ops Intel, military footprint 1, yes. Okay. Right, Africa. alignment 5, stability 4, crises 2, 1 and 1 China influence, unstable state and civil war, yes. We should have a 1 and a 2 here. Terror groups. Spec Ops and Intel, yes. So that's fine. Central South Asia, 5. Pro-US, yes. Stability is 4, yes. Crisis 2. Influence 1 and 1. India close with 2 tensions, yes. Stable state 1, yes. 1 level 3. Ah, right. 1 level 3. 1, 2 and 1, 1. Army Light, Air Force, Spec Ops and Intel, yes. Footprint 1, yes. Asia Pac, almost there. Pro-US and 6, so alignment, stability is 5, crisis 1, in China influence 1, Allies, Japan, very close, 1 tensions, yes. ROK, close, 1 tensions, no. Let's get that. Around. Australia, close with 1 tensions, yes. North Korea, yeah, we got all the sanctions and 2 tensions, yeah, that's correct. Unstable state 1. Level 2 and level 1, so that goes back to there. Army heavy in Korea, Marine, Air Force, Spec Ops, Intel and Carrier, yes. Carriers in the Indian and Eastern Pacific, yes. Focus National Intelligence, yes. Okay, Central America, yeah, we really want to repair these. 5 anti-US for alignment. Four stability, yes. 2 regional crises, 1 unstable state. Nope, not a rogue state, an unstable state. And civil war, yes. 1, 2 and 1, 1, yes. Okay. And for South America, 5 and 4, yes. Crisis 2. China influence 1. Unstable, nope. Those are the rogue states we need to put back. It's unstable states. Civil War 1, yes. 1 level 2, 1 level 1, yes. Continental United States. Canada close with 1 tensions, so we'll put one of those back. And 2 level 2s. Right. I think we're there. Just looking at the deck. So, we started off with these 3. I'm just trying to shortcut this actually. These 3 cascading events were already there. So I'm going to pick another. I'm going to shuffle those back in and pick another 3 to start off with. These are the ones we picked out. These events. There was 4 normal events and 1 terrorism event. So I'm going to take the crisis deck. I'm going to replace these in the crisis deck without actually having to do all the seeding, complete seeding again. It's going to be a shortcut just to be able to get on with it. Otherwise we'll be here all night, or day, afternoon, wherever you are. Right, so 4 events, 1 terrorism, and we need 3 cascades. So, right. That's the natural disaster, we don't have to worry about that. This is the terrorism one, so I'm going to put the terrorism card back in, and then I'm going to add 1 to the crisis deck here. So shuffle these. Right, so we add a terrorism there. we then also have to add 5 events from the event deck, which we didn't use. Where's that gone? Oh yes. So these are all the event cards we didn't use. So I'm going to seed these back in and then do somewhat of a shuffle. It's difficult shuffling a card deck this big. And hopefully we don't get that Serbian card again, because that was an absolute nightmare, that one. So I'm just going to be picking 4 out randomly from the deck rather than the top 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 4 events replaced. And those the rest can go away. So they're in there as well. Are they all the same way up? No. So now they are. Okay. And then so we can shuffle this deck, this new Crisis deck. In fact, I'll just split it, I think. It's not taking as long as I thought it was going to, but it's still a good amount of time. Sorry if everybody's a bit bored out there. Go and make a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, or gin and tonic or whatever takes your fancy. Crisis deck done. So we need to take these cascading events and shuffle them back into the cascading event deck and pull 3 out. Shuffle in and pull 3 out. So. And then do what they say. Ah, hold on. Ooh, done something wrong here. So, I don't think we pulled out card 148. Because that was the pandemic card, so that must be still in there. So that's fine. We have to include card 37 as one of the 3. So let me just grab that. That's set up 37. There it is. So we have to have that as one of the 3. So good. So we only see 2 random cards. Okay, so that one and that one. Right. And when we do that, okay, so we don't count what this one says, but these 2 we do. So we do the first one, which is China threatens Taiwan over independence talk. So just there. We got so military manoeuvres. So first time it's pulled, +1 regional crisis in Asia Pac, and so it starts. Hardly ever good news. Place 1 tensions counter each on China, Japan, Australia, India, and Korea. So pretty much bloody everybody. Lots of tensions in the Pacific. So what was it? North Korea as well? No. So South Korea, yes. Australia, yes. Japan, yes. China, yes. And India up here. Okay. Place a trending anti-US on China's US relations. Oh, great. So, trending anti-US, thank you. That's all we do for now. So, getting uppity about Taiwan, lovely. And the second card is Drought in Africa. Creates famine and it's a refugee crisis. Okay. So +2 regional crisis in Africa. Hey, go straight to a major crisis. +1 regional crisis in Eurozone. Presumably that's the refugees. Make a check on the state of the economy in Eurozone. That's currently 5. And if we fail, we put a worsening economy. So we need to roll against 5. 5 we pass, so that's okay. But we need to deal with the major crisis in Africa. So let's get our world charts out. So regional major crisis. We've seen this one before yesterday. Okay, so if a major regional crisis breaks out, -2 public approval. Good start. Lovely. Okay, and then move this back down to 2. DRMs. Regional stability is 4. So that is a +1. No allies. There is a civil war, so that's another +1. It's +2. No other war. No rogue state. So +2 on this dice, this table, on a D10. 2 going to a 4. Doesn't sound too bad. Add 1 at a level 1 terror group in the region, and then roll a D10. So let's roll a D10. It's a 6. Add China influence. Okay. So we get another terror group and a China influence. Need to toss up these influences here. So the Russians have 1. Oh, that's not a base. That's just a normal influence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. So Russians are on 5. The Chinese are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay, so that's the cascading events done. I think we're ready to crack on. Right, are you still with me? You're still with me. That's certain good fortitude there by the chat. Thank you very much. Okay, we start with strategic capabilities. So our 2 roles on these charts, and again, cyber warfare, I really want to focus on that, and then maybe the space warfare. I think do the same thing again. So this is a D10. It's a 1 to 5 for those to succeed. So cyber warfare, 5, yes, good. So we have a lead. And space warfare, do we catch up on a 5? 4, yes. Okay. So that's a good start. Good. Strategic capabilities done. Set our focus, cabinet focus. So, right. So one thing I'm definitely going to do is relations with Congress, because I really messed that up last time. So relations with Congress up here, that's not going to be 4th best. So I'm going to do press public relations as 4th. Address domestic crises 2. I'm going to do improve relations with Congress as number 1. Actually, no, I'm going to switch those 2 around. Economy, Homeland Security, not so fussed. Cabinet effectiveness, yeah, 1 to 3, I think. That's good. All right, we've done that. So 1 action for the president and each cabinet member, and we've got lots of +1s here. 1, 2, 3 +1s here. So that will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 actions here. So we'll have a decent amount to do here. Good. So, cabinet effectiveness is important early, yeah, but just worried about the public relations and the Congress relations. I've put it 3rd. Well, live or die by the sword here, or the pen. or the counter, so it seems. Right, okay. Let's get our little charts out. Let's see what we're going to do. So, president first, I think. Where's my president sheet? There we go. So rather than do the presidential presence, we should still do it though, really. Corralling the cabinet, that means that we might be able to roll on the improvement. We haven't got any bills to rally for domestic. UN speech, presidential trip, invite ally leader. Yeah, that might be used for some of these states which are only close rather than very close, but needs to be between these two, I think. We'll start with corralling the cabinet because that affects other stuff, whereas this is kind of end of the game accounting stuff. So corralling the cabinet, improving cabinet effectiveness once per segment. So yeah, but you know, we've only got one action anyway here for the president. Okay, can spend an AP, and we will, because one thing we've got is extra APs. Roll once on the cabinet improvement table with a -1 for our AP. Domestic rating of your chief of staff, and he is a 1, so that's great. So that's -2. Team builder, I'm not. Number of tensions counters, there are no tensions count here, so this is -2 on the cabinet improvement table, which is actually here on the board, and it's a D6 with a -2. We rolled a 4, which comes out as a 2, and a 2, improving. Place improving marker on cabinet effective, so it's improving. So it's kind of like 4.5 at the moment, so it's work in progress. That's the president done. Right, so on to the vice president, so we can get rid of the presidential marker. Actions here, domestic. Yeah, so the vice president is on domestic stuff. So what do we do? Stimulate economy? No. Domestic crises would be nice. Can't do the lingering domestic issue yet because we've still got domestic crises. Improve relations with Congress. Ooh, yes, maybe that's a... Yeah, we'll do that one first, I think. Can use an AP for a DRM. I think we'll do that. So one action, and so we rolled a D6. Is relations with Congress a focus? #1 focus. Relations with Congress is our #1 focus. So we get a -1 for that. We are not respected by Congress. That's not our attribute. We spent an AP, so that's -2. And currently I'm on a 3 with their relations, which gives us a +2. Oh, brilliant. Okay. So it's cancelled out because they don't like me much now. So it's a straight roll on the D6. And we want low. 4 is not low. 4 does nothing. Okay, no effect. All right. We can only do this once. So, Vice President, what are you going to do now? Encourage bipartisanship in Congress. That might be quite nice. It's a long shot. Oh, hang on, is it one attempt? Yeah, one attempt here. This is, we can only be successful once per activation segment. This costs an action and an AP. It's an automatic AP, so let's spend that. So this is just a D6 and no modifiers. Don't get a 6. A 3 is great, no effect. Right, that's the Vice President done on his second action. Chief of Staff. We could do this again. Cost another AP. Go on, let's try it. Again, no modifier on a D6. Need a 1 or a 2. 5, no. No effect. Okay, second action. We can't do the improved relations with Congress anymore. Address domestic crisis, I suppose. So, cabinet effectiveness check. So cabinet effectiveness is currently 4. We get a -1 because it's our priority. And the Chief of Staff has a 1 DRM, so that's -2 and +2 because of this counter as well. So it's a straight roll. I need to roll against a 4. Yeah. Seven, no. Okay. So that's Chief of Staff done? Yes, it is, isn't it? So on to Foreign Affairs. We've only got 1 roll. So Diplomatic Master Actions. Crisis Relief. Well, everywhere is a problem. Although it's looking like you might get a bit of a problem here. It's not great in Eurozone either, or Eastern Europe for that matter. Let's do Eastern Europe. Paranoid about what happened last turn. So 1 action and the dice roll. -1 for our Secretary of State. Stability is 6 or higher. It is 6 or higher. So -2 on the dice. That's great. A 3 goes to a 1. 1 or less decrease by 2 boxes. Whoa. Okay. We sorted them out. Well done, Mr. Secretary of State. But he doesn't get a second action. And finally, Secretary of Defense. So military. What do we want to do here? If you want to throw out suggestions, do that. I think last time we tried to and fix this level 3 terror group. I think that's probably a good idea. Yeah, 2 different groups. So we'll do it against that 3 and the 2 over here, I think. So that 3. So we have intel here. We have intel here, so that's great. They're both -1. Focus national intelligence is here, but it's not here. So that's a -1, that's a -2 on the dice. It's a D10, we need 1 to 4. So here, with a -1 on the dice, is a failure. Yep, and the other one is a -2 on the dice. 6, 5, 4, yes. Success, put them in the gathering box. Okay, second action, this is our last action. What else can we do? We could do that again. Or we could try and alleviate crisis. Who hates us at the moment? Central America. Everybody else is positive. Mind you, the positives, if we help them, the original alignment may go up. Maybe that's a good idea here. Or here. Maybe Eastern Europe. Yeah, we're going to do military professionals, treat disease, build schools, clinics, blah, blah, blah. Infrastructure. Okay. Must have a civil war. Ah, no. There's no civil war there. So we can't do it Eastern Europe. We could do it here. No, we can't. There is no civil war there. There is a civil war in the Middle East. There is a civil war here. No civil war there. So Central America. We'll do it Central America. Right. Roll a d10. Any China or influence counters in the region? No, there isn't. So that's good. Secretary of Defense military rating is a 1. So we've got a -1 on the dice on a d10, and we're looking for as low as possible. 4, that's good. It goes to a 3. Place the trending pro-US counter in the region, or receive a new UN goodwill counter. So we could remove that, or we get a UN goodwill counter. I think we might get a UN goodwill counter. Where are they? The UN could use that later. We'll get a UN goodwill counter. Let's do that. -1 to regional crisis. That's something. Region is 0. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. No, that's it. Okay. We've got UN goodwill out of it. That might be useful. Okay, and so that is all our actions. So we get on to activation phase 1, and either Russia or China act, and let's see who it is. 1 to 5, it's Russia. 6 to 10, it is China. It is China this time. China is acting. Right, get the China book out. Can't really miss it. Huge, stonky red one. Okay, so has China won the game? No. Okay, posture changes. If currently at posture 1, sum of the flipped tension counters is 5 or more, then increase it to 2. So we turn those counters over. There's not going to be that much. No effect and +1. So no. If China was at posture 1 and would not otherwise be entitled to increase it, but their state of the economy is 3 or 4, no, it's 5, so that's fine. Okay, based on the sum of tensions, China's relationship with the US may be affected. If the sum of the counters is 0 or 1, it is, it's just 1. Place a trending pro-US account. Oh, okay, so that trending anti disappears. Nice. They tend to like. For every increment of 5 in the sum of tensions, an anti-US, there isn't, because there's only 1. Right, then immediately before you draw any actions, move all of the tension counters and we draw half. So we get rid of those 2. And we put 1 new one in. So let's see how this goes. Improve China's strategic capabilities. So it's a posture 1, so 2 strategic capabilities. That's these guys here. Areas in which China trails the US by 2 or more. So that's strategic recon. That's the only one. So that's certainly the priority. 1 to 4 succeeds at posture 1. So strategic recon 1 to 4. 10 they fail. So I think they try again. Until you're out of attempts. So they'll try again on their second attempt. Same thing, 1 to 4. 4, yes. So they've gone up to here. But that's the second attempt. That's all they get. Right, espionage. China's relations with the US is track 1 or 2. It is 2. And posture is 2. No. They make 2. Otherwise they make 1. So only 1 espionage attempt. So we roll for... yeah, well, actually it's not regional, it's just a dice roll. DRMs. Our cyber warfare capability is slightly better than theirs, so there's a +1 on the dice. We have a -1 because we have some close allies rather than very close, except for India and Gulf states, like NATO is only close. So that's a -1. I think that's it. So +1 and -1, so it's just a straight roll on D10. 3 doesn't sound good. Steel technology. Roll a D10 and identify a random strategic capability and increase it by 1 box. So these have their little dice numbers on them. So we roll a D10 to see which one improves. 9. 9 is strategic missiles, missile defense. So they come up with everybody else. Okay, that's their espionage done. Their economy now. Place and improving, yeah. There's no sanctions on China. -1 on this dice per influence counter in Asia Pac. That's 1. Central South Asia, 1. Middle East, 1. Africa, 1. Okay, so that's a -4 on the dice. Yes, -4 on the dice. A 2, so that's a 1 to 5. Place an improving economy counter. So their economy getting better. That's nice for them. Okay, so now we get to their actions. China receives number of actions equal to their economy track, which is 5. So they get 5 plus 1, 6. And then modified by the number at the bottom of the relations, which is +1. So there's 7. That's a lot. Okay. Right. So we have 7 actions to do here. I'm going to put that on 6 and take the first one quickly. Okay, dependent actions. Terror in Central South Asia. If there are a total of 5 terror groups, yes, there are 5 group levels. Yes, there are 6. Use the China action to remove 1 terror level from the largest group. So that 3 becomes a 2. Yeah, thanks very much. Okay, so now we're on 6 actions. Quell Rising Descent, addressing internal issues. Roll a d10. Adding 1, posture 2, no. Subtracting 1 is the economy is 6 or more, no. So it's just 1. It's just a dice roll on a d10. An 8, no effect. China's not at war, so there's no reinforcements. Remove reduced sanctions on China. There are no sanctions on China, so that's useless. Extra war progress. China's not at war, so we don't do that. So we've got 6 of these. We make 1 cyber attack for an action, so that drops to 5. Okay, determine target on a d10 is a 4. There's no DRMs on this. A 4. Discredit or replace the US as major trade partner in Asia Pac. Okay, so we are better at cyber, so therefore we're on the best table. So success for them is a 1 to 5. 7, so they failed. Failure means they don't get to do anything. So the cyber attack failed. Now, because they cyber attacked us, I'm pretty sure we have the option of doing a cyber attack back. I'll just confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Cyber 44. Okay, when you have been a victim of a cyber attack, have identified the attacker and wish to respond. So how do I know it was the Chinese? Not sure about identifying the attacker. I don't know how to do that. I presume it's just I know who it is because I just rolled it. I presume there might be sort of random ones which happen. but we know this is a China one. So do we wish to respond? It's a free action. Actually, they're being quite nice to us, so no, we won't respond anyway. Okay, so 5 actions left. So 1 belt, 1 road. That's another action, so we take that down to 4. Place a trending anti-US counter on China relations with the US track. Oh, okay. Nice. So they just do that. Perform the following steps on the Belt and Road regions. Count the number of Belt and Road regions that have 3 influence counters or a China base. None. There are 0. Perform option A. Place 1 China influence counter in the 2 Belt and Road regions where China has the fewest influence. So this is Asia Pac. They have 1. Central South Asia 1. Middle East 1. Africa 2. Eastern Europe 1. And Eurozone 2. So definitely not Eurozone or Africa. So we're between Middle East, Central South Asia, Eastern Europe and Asia Pac. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. We use the D8 and it's 1 or a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reroll on 7, 8. So it's Asia Pac. So we put a Chinese influence counter there. The number goes up. And the other ones are Eastern Europe, Middle East, Central South Asia. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 is here. And they go up to 10. Okay. So now immediately place 2 tension counters on China and 1 on Japan, India, Australia, Korea, Gulf States, Saudi Arabia and Russia. Okay, right. So 2 tension counters on China. Oops, saw that one. 2 on China. Let's bring this closer here. 1 on Japan. 1 on India. Well, they've got a lot. 1 on Australia. 1 on South Korea. 1 on the Gulf States. And 1 on Russia. Okay, we still have 4 left. I think that was 4, wasn't it? Hang on, because I rolled that dice, haven't I? I've used it. So let me check. We did the Terror. We did the cyber attack. And we did the 1 bent, 1 road, and we had 7, 6, 4 left. Yeah, 4 left. Yep, right. Expand China's influence in neighbour regions. Okay. We can't create a China base. Nothing has got 3 or more influence counters. Attempt to expand Chinese influence in Asia Pac if there are 0 to 1 influence counters, or 2 influence counters and no base, and 1 influence counter in South Central Asia. Yes. So so expand Chinese influence. We look at the regional alignment. Regional alignment is 6, so we get a D10 plus 6, and we need a 10 or more on the result to stop this happening. 7 plus 6, 13 is bigger than 10, so it fails. So we're now down to 3. So reinforce allies, build military force. Okay, if China has a relative strength on the China, Japan or India track that is equal to or lower than the opponents, then build strength. So China, India is currently +1 China, so they don't do that. And Japan +1 China, so they don't do that either. Is Pakistan at war with India? No. If the India-Pakistani conflict track is 3 or higher, no, it's not. So they don't do anything for the military side. Secure sea lanes. So these 2 China influence counter a China base in Asia Pacific. Yes, there's 2. Roll a d10 and add 1 if China's posture is 2. No, it's not. So we just roll the dice. A 4. 1 to 6. Build or enhance mining, drilling, and military outposts in South China Sea. Place a trending anti-US counter on China. Oh, bloody hell. So they've just gone to 1. Okay. Add 1 tensions counter to China, Japan, Australia, and Korea. Lots of tensions going on there. So 1 on China. The old China. Oh, saw that one. Japan. Australia. And South Korea. Okay, US may immediately make 1 free attempt to impose unilateral or multilateral sanctions on China. Well, why not? They're being a bit feisty here. So let's look at that. Attempt to impose sanctions. Let's go for multilateral. It's tougher, but let's go for it. Okay, we get a free one. We can spend an action point on this. There are some DRMs here. -1 if there are at least 2 tension counters on the target country. There's 4. Diplomatic rating is -1 again, so that's -2. -1 if you spend an action point. Congress is 4 or less. Yeah, so it's a +1. And if it's China, it's +2. So +1, +3, so it's -2. So it's just +1 on the dice. Is it going to make things worse than it already is? We'll try for unilateral with a +1. Unilateral. 7 + 1 is an 8. So no effect. Okay. So we failed anyway. Didn't spend an AP. Right. We're back with what the Chinese are doing. That was their 3rd thing, so they're down to 2. We move on. Attempt to expand China's influence in Central and South America. Okay, make 1 roll. And on the first region specified... Okay, regional alignment of Central America is less than 7, so they're going to do Central America. Yes. So we add our regional alignment, which is 5, so D10 + 5, and we want to get greater than a 10. 7 + 5, 12. Yeah, that failed. So they are down to 1 action left. One thing I know about these charts are the further you go into the book, the worse they get. So 7 is veto UN sanctions. They're on Iran or North Korea. Okay, North Korea has UN sanctions. So So it gets removed. So their last action is to remove the UN sanctions on North Korea. There's no role for it, just happens. Done China. Great. How are we on for time now? Because I spent a lot of time doing this. An hour and a half. Okay, any 3 actions. Yeah, let's keep going. 3 actions here. So we can do some presidential stuff. Helping with the relations with Congress again. I'd really like to do that. Oh no, corralling the cabinet. That's what we wanted to do. I'm going to do that. And we'll use an AP for it. So, we spent an AP -1. Chief of Staff rating is -1. And there's no tensions counter. So it's -2 on the dice. It's a D6 here. 3, -2 is a 1. Place an improving marker. So that improving marker comes off and it goes up to 5. Nice. Well done, Prez. Okay. And what do we want to do now? Well, on the diplomatic side, we might do a China summit. We can do a China summit, and hopefully that just reduces the bad things happening here, and also maybe improve our relations as well. Because they may get a second go. There's a possibility they will get a second go here in our 1 turn. You know, I'm going to do the improved relations with Congress. That's the important one here. So -1 for our focus. Spend an AP. So that's -2, +2 because it's so poor at the moment. So it's straight roll, D6. 4 is no change. 1, 2 or 3 would have helped, but no, that failed. Can only do once per activation. I think we're going to do a China summit, I think, because I want to cool this area down. China summit. Let's do that. That's world chart, isn't it? Oh no, that's on the back of the China table, isn't it? Yeah, it's a summit results. China summit, here we go. So, choose a China summit. We've got a relationship of 1, so they'll only talk to us about 1 problem. So, problem to address: improve relations, stabilize, improve trade, remove sanctions. There aren't any sanctions. Jointly mediate a civil war ceasefire, no. Anti-terror campaign, no. Contain a rogue state, no. Control North Korea's nuclear ambitions. Don't worry about that at the moment. So I think just improving relations would be good. Or stabilise. Stabilise. Actually, stabilise is better. We can only do that if the relations of the US is 2 or higher, so we can't do that. Improve relations then. Okay, so we roll the dice. If we're successful, we'll improve the relations with the US with a counter. Choose roll a d10 on that line to determine what China wants in order to improve the game state. Okay, so what's the quid pro quo? So d10 on which of these? A 2. They demand nothing. They see it in their best interest to improve relations. So yeah, okay. So yes, we put a pro-US trend on China there. So that was good. Then what happens is we then turn the page over to the Summit results table. So we dealt with one problem and we dealt with it successfully. So we got 100% 1 of 1. So this is what we get out of it as a result. So roll a d10. 10. Shit. Awful. +1 Probic approval. Yay! Gosh, we could have got some real big rewards there. Got nothing. So that's our 3 actions. Hey, guess where we are? We're on to the brown stuff. As I call these squares. Draw 1. Shit. Here we go. Here is where the world goes mad. So we have, oh, good times. That's actually, I think it's the one good chit. Unfortunately, it's a plus, which means that we're going to have to draw again. But good times gives us good times gives us good times. Roll a d10 on the good times table. Of course you do. What else would you do in this game? So, domestic. Yeah. Good times table. Good times table is D15, page 18. Here we go. Good times table. There are no dice roll modifiers on this, so let's fill our boots, shall we? A 6. That's nice and average. Make a surprise visit to deployed troops. Speak to the troops and thank them for the patriotism and sacrifice. Afterwards, shake every hand and speak to each soldier. Look them in the eye as you tell them how much you and the nation appreciate their service. Share a meal with the troops, then meet their leaders to discuss their situation briefings. Ask informed questions and listen to their ideas, concerns and suggestions. Remind them that they are the finest that America has to offer and that they have your full and unwavering support. +1 action in the next activation segment that allows a military action. So we take a +1 marker. Where did I bar there? So we have a +1 marker here. What else do we get? And +1 public approval. Okay, well, goodish times, I suppose. It's better than the usual brown counter, but we have to pull another brown counter. And what do we have? We have 1 random regional crisis. Oops, not there. And we'll have to draw again as well. It's a plus. 1 random regional crisis. I think we just roll to see which one it is. Random regional crisis, roll a d10, to which basis move that crisis level 1 box to the right. So they've all got dice numbers on each of them, so let's roll. A 7. A 7 is South America, so that bumps up to 1. And that's all that happens. So could have been worse. And finally, the last chip we have to draw. The pluses don't matter anymore. Draw 2 crisis cards. It had to happen. Draw 2 crisis cards. But at least that's all we have to do. 2 crisis cards. Here comes the first one. Everybody wince, squint their eyes, look away if you're of a delicate disposition. Let's see what it is. It is your 9/11 anniversary speech spurs an outpouring of patriotism and cooperation. Yay! Wow. Wow. That's kind of a good card. It's a good card. Yay! Right, immediate +2 public approval. Wow, wow. +1 relations with Congress. Yes. Finally, you can get away from those negatives. Move bipartisan corporation 1 box to the right. Gosh. Wow. Then roll a d10. And we roll a 10. Randomly remove 1 congressional opponent. Nice. Well, we've got a moderate and a radical. The moderate is better, but he's moderate. Well, she's moderate, actually. It's a Chloe. I'm going to get rid of the radical. Yeah, rid of the radical. Great. And this is a reshuffle. So it can come back. Well, actually it won't in this game because we won't reshuffle for the year. We only got 1 turn. That's 1 crisis card. So, okay. So, a bit of gratification there from a surprising place. Let's see what the other one turns up though. Again, look away if you have a delicate disposition. Here we go. Foreign trained American terrorists target US shopping malls. Okay. So, immediate. This is a reshuffle as well card. +1 domestic crisis. Okay. Place 1 tensions counter on the focus. The 6th, it goes from 6 to 1. So we place 1 tensions counter. So what this will do is this will block us rolling. Effectively what it means is we're busy with this, so therefore we focus on the least focused subject here. And then roll a d10 for a random region. Random region is 4. 4 is Middle East. Increase a level 3, 2 or 1 terror group in that priority. We have a 2, which becomes a 3. Then make a Homeland Security check. So our Homeland Security is 6. Hope. This is good. 9, we fail. Fail. Major casualties. +1 domestic crisis. We have a domestic failure. -3 public approval. Oh, it's all happening now. -1 Homeland Security. Okay, the group plans further attacks. Place a level 1 terror group in the United States. So, great. We just had a big terror attack on shopping malls. There's also a media slant. And so we might lose the media on this as well. Media slant 26. Let me just check on that. I think we might do. Okay, so check your media relations. Media relations is terrible, 3. So that's a -1 to public approval. Yeah, so -1 public approval. So the media reckon we've done a bad job. Right. So that's a terrorism event. That is a reshuffle. That's our 2 crisis cards. Right. So as I'm at the top here, I'm going to pause it here because we're surprisingly we're almost back where we were at the start of the video, but we've got a new game now. And are things worse? I don't think so. Cabinet effectiveness all right. China is a bit of a pain. It's not too bad. Got rid of a congressional opponent. We've got some cooperation. Media hates us though. Yeah, well, I think it's slightly better this time, but well, time will tell. So, we should be back tomorrow with more continuing Mr. President 2020. Hopefully we'll survive so that we don't have to restart and it starts to become Mr. President 2021 because it's taking so long. But anyway, thanks everybody for sticking with me. If you have still stuck with me, great fortitude there. Great sticking. And yeah, apologies about the impeachment, but I suppose that's the way the cookie crumbles. And let's see how it goes next time when we get to the legislative segment and try and survive this scandal. Seems it might be another short video next time. Anyway, thanks Paul, Mike, and Christoph if he's still there, and Eric if they're still there. And again, good to see you again. And we should be doing this same time tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Bye for now.